Well, hi everyone, it's Ian here, and welcome to Thought for the Day on August Bank Holiday Monday, the end of the summer season, I guess. So, my question today is simply this: do you sometimes find it difficult to pray? There is a story in the Bible that I find so encouraging when I find it difficult to know how to pray. Abraham, in the Old Testament, had some big, difficult stuff going on in his family life. He knew that he needed to pray to God. And the story is in Genesis chapter 18. And the story starts like this: Genesis chapter 18, verse 22. Abraham stood before the Lord. That's it. Simply that. And I find that so encouraging. He came and he stood before the Lord. I love to cycle. And some of the quiet country roads around our part of Tendring are just wonderful, and they have some stunning scenery. And I often go for a ride for a couple of hours or so by myself. And I can remember on one of these trips by myself thinking, I'll use some of this time to pray. And I said to God something along these lines: okay, Lord, it's you and me for a little while. And I began to go through my prayer list. You know, there are different people I've got to pray for, different places, different situations. I'm going to get right through my prayer list today. You and I are going to have a brilliant time, God. But then, that day, the weather set in. Before that, there was no weather. Suddenly, there was definitely weather. Cycling conditions got more tricky. I had to really concentrate hard on staying safe on the roads, and I was right out at the furthest point on my cycle route. And several hours later, I was back home, soaking wet and cold, and suddenly a shard of guilt hit me, and I realized, oh my goodness, I haven't done my prayer list. I haven't ticked everything off. And I said, God, I'm so sorry. What a wasted opportunity. And I just sensed God saying, I quite enjoyed it. Just being with you, you shutting up for a while, just being together. Prayer begins with just showing up, standing before the Lord, maybe walking, maybe cycling with God. I mean, quite honestly, I've gone to plenty of prayer meetings grumbling, even ones I've organised myself, thinking, whose daft idea was this? And I've left an hour or so later grateful. You know, standing in front of the Lord can be even more scary than standing in front of a crowd of people, which is why so many of us spend so much time trying to avoid it really happening. Adam and Eve were ashamed to stand before the Lord after they did wrong. They hid from the gaze of the Lord. And to stand before the God of the universe, who is holy, can be scary. We can feel messy and dirty and silly and embarrassed. And it's so important that we realize that when we approach God, He's not scowling at us. He's smiling at us. He is looking forward to time with you more than you are looking forward to time with him. 3 times in the Bible it says about Abraham that he was a friend of God. He knew that God was his friend. And prayer is putting friendship into words. It's not an obligation. Oh, should I pray? It's an extraordinary invitation from a friend. So whatever's going on, the good, the bad, the ugly, whatever stress, whatever challenge, the good news is that right at the heart of your being, you know that you are loved by God. You're okay. You're forgiven. You're favoured. That's where true confidence comes from in a world that's actually saying, prove yourself. We can come from a place of enormous security. I'm loved. I'm a friend of God. Abraham stood before the Lord. His prayers began by simply showing up. So I hope and I pray that you have a great day. Enjoy God's presence with you. Bye for now.